Welcome, welcome, welcome to this week's episode of the Green Umbrella Live Lunch. Here we are, me and Kim doing our thing. It's been a bit of a rushed morning. I've been in and out of appointments and doing stuff, and I was thinking, oh God, I hope I'm going to be done in time. I'm not going to run over because otherwise that would be a nightmare. But luckily, I was all good. And you've been out and about this morning, Kim, haven't you?
I have. I've been out and about helping a friend with her social media management and strategy and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's been I don't even know what day of the week it is, to be honest. I don't know what's going on, but I'm just here for the ride. So
There's some things I plan to do on Monday that I still haven't done yet. And I'm just like,
what? Yeah, it's busy, but it's good. It's exciting.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so let's try and keep this one as a short one this week. We'll do a quick download of the social media news and all that sort of stuff. There's lots of bits and pieces coming out this week, some research pieces, some best practice pieces, that kind of stuff. But obviously we're always interested in the what's the big news and like what the changes people are making, that sort of stuff. So first of all, I want to talk about TikTok.
Go for it.
So Biden signed the bit of paper now. So TikTok has, was it 270 days to sell, basically, in the US? Otherwise, there will be no more TikTok.
What?
I know, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But here's the thing, though. So TikTok can still appeal.
Okay.
I think they're going to. It's really interesting. So TikTok can appeal, and they're saying that they're going to, on the grounds that the move is inconstitutional.
Yeah.
So if they appeal, we'll see what happens there. I kind of feel like for it to have gone this far, like appealing at this point, I'd be amazed if the decision got overturned. I really would. So there's that. So they've got 270 days, which is what, 9 months. Okay. If during that time they can find a buyer in the US, but it's still going through process, they can ask for a 3-month extension.
Yeah.
So essentially, it's like, although they've said 270 days, essentially it's a year that we're looking at before TikTok were to either become in the US, would be under US ownership, or it would vanish in the US. It's important to remember this is just in the US.
Yeah.
So essentially, we've got 9 months to a year to see what happens there. So I'm sure there'll be loads of stories in between.
Why do I feel like Donald Trump would buy it?
Well, this is the thing. So now the question is, who would buy it in the US?
My guesses are Donald Trump, Kanye West, Andrew Tate. Can you imagine?
God, can you imagine? I don't know if Andrew Tate could buy it in the US because of all that stuff. I to be honest, I've never stayed up to date with Andrew Tate, like, other than him being locked up and then locked up again and all that kind of stuff. I've not really. I don't know where things stand in terms of his business interests in the US, whether he would be allowed to buy it. And this is the other thing as well. I think that the government have to approve the sale.
Jeez, I feel like there's going to be a movie about this.
Oh, it's going to be, yeah, absolutely. It'll be crazy. So a front runner, obviously, like you've got to think about all the social media platforms as well, who would buy it. Now, Meta would make sense that Meta might buy it. However, Meta have got their own crap going on because the government already wants them to, basically they're saying like, you've got too much power. So Meta already want them to divest in terms of Instagram and WhatsApp. So then, like, they're never going to approve, like, given the situation, I can't see them approving Meta buying TikTok.
Yeah.
It's like they're already moaning they've got too much power. Why would they give them more power again?
Yeah.
Although if they were to buy it, we'd probably see Instagram and TikTok merge into one.
That Mark Zuckerberg's a greedy bugger, isn't he?
Well,
I mean, good
I
for
don't know
him.
that he's greedy. I don't know that he's greedy. He's innovative, and
Yeah,
he's managed to create a team of innovative people,
yeah,
and so things keep progressing on that front. So yeah, it's really interesting. And the other thing with this as well is that it's all well the US saying you've got to divest, find a US buyer for TikTok to operate over here, but of course the Chinese government also need to say yes to the sale.
mhm,
Why would they do that? They're more likely to stick two fingers up to the US,
yeah,
in which case TikTok disappears. So it's a really, really interesting situation. And whatever happens in the US will likely see happen elsewhere.
yeah,
So some countries will be more than happy and they'll just have their TikTok presence in their territory run through the US TikTok, knowing that the data's owned over there, because already, like, you know, Facebook is running, everything's owned, is US owned. Like, you know, all these other platforms that are being run, US X, US
mhm,
owned. So you can see lots of them saying that. But the EU already have something going on with TikTok, saying that like they want the usage of TikTok in the EU to be within the EU as well. So potentially they might have to find like what happens in the US potentially might need to happen in the EU as well.
jeez, it's a lot, isn't it? It's a lot.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Paul Green's just put in the comments on Facebook. Let's bring it up on screen. So he said Trump's got no money, so because of his core fine, so maybe not Trump. But he said, yeah, maybe Amazon would buy it. That would make sense because of the whole shopping thing. So
Maybe Paul will buy it.
maybe. So like I said, it's kind of it's like I've been following this story all the way through. It's really interesting, really, really interesting. Because, you know, in years to come, other social media platforms are going to come to the forefront. They're going to be owned by different countries. And like this really could set a precedent for what might happen in the future. So it is this interesting story.
And it's the
I'm
gift that
quite
keeps on giving.
I'm quite excited for the fallout. And yeah, and then there's all the people that have gone like TikTok's new and it's growing quickly and we've got to be using TikTok. And maybe they put all their effort into TikTok and stopped Facebook, stopped Instagram,
Yeah,
not been doing it because they've just gone TikTok, TikTok, TikTok. Well, potentially a year from now,
there will be.
things could go crazy. So I think if you know that is like that's you in that situation, you've essentially got a year to, and I would say continue with a TikTok strategy.
Mm,
I definitely wouldn't be like going, oh crap, like it's going to go down, get off of there. But I would very much be the mindset that I've got a year to work my TikTok strategy to get as much data as possible out of
yeah,
TikTok.
yeah,
Get those followers on TikTok, following me on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, into my email database, which of course is the most important thing. So yeah, strategically, I think that there'll be anyone that doesn't make a change to their TikTok strategy now, make sure it's very much about data capture and lead generation from a first party data perspective. Anyone that doesn't do that right now is mad. Absolutely crazy. So yeah, like I said, it could still all come to nothing, but I feel like we're going to be we're going to end up in a stalemate situation unless the US, like after that appeal, the US overturned the decision. But I don't see it happening.
you heard it here first, folks.
I tell you the thing I don't know. So obviously the US election, and I don't know timelines either actually, because I'm just thinking about this now as I'm talking about it. So let's say the US elections happen, Trump gets back in. which surely you wouldn't do after all these bloody fines and everything as well. But let's say you did. So, you know, it's not Biden, it's someone else, it's their clue. It could just be the change in I nearly said Prime Minister then. The change in president might actually affect what happens at a bill as well. Don't know.
Who knows?
But yeah, definitely, like I said, first party data, guys, that's the way we need to be going with all platforms. But now TikTok, especially. If you're really proud that you've got all these like hundreds of thousands of millions of followers on TikTok and all these views, potentially in 12 months' time, it won't mean crap.
That was very PG. Proud of you.
It was totally filtered. Totally filtered.
It's only taken 198 episodes.
Yeah. Paul's just said TikTok could be the avenue that Google uses to get back into social media. Honestly, I think I can't see Google buying it. Like Google just have never been able to get social media right. So I think they've learned their lesson over many, many years. I think they've got Google My Business right now. They should stick to that. Cool. Okay, that's that. I've got a few other things, but let's see what you've got first.
Okay, so we've got an Instagram one. They're adding new features to the subscription feature, so people can subscribe to people's content, which obviously they will then generate revenue from. And they're adding new ways to prevent people from screenshotting and screen recording, because obviously the idea is you subscribe to see exclusive content and all of this stuff. And the old screen record app on your phone is amazing but dangerous at times. So they're going to put that in to protect creators' exclusive content. And then there's going to be subscription stickers. And then it will just show you, say you've got 287 subscriptions from this sticker, blah, blah, blah. So just more data and insights that way. But do you subscribe to anyone on Instagram?
Not on Instagram, no.
Never, no.
Yeah, I've got a few subscriptions to influencers, things like that, but it's all direct. It's not through, it's not a social media subscription.
Okay. And they're also going to be putting stories teaser display for that will show non-subscribers when a creator has posted. So we'll be getting more sort of Christina has posted this, subscribe. That sounds weird. To get exclusive marketing content. And yeah. And you could do that, but I don't know anybody that's subscribing to these things.
There's a couple where I've thought about it, but I feel like I don't use Instagram enough that I would access the content.
I'm always on Instagram now. Do you remember when I first started, it was my least favourite platform. And now it's the one that it's my go-to. How weird's that?
Do you know, I feel like it changes based on what the clients are using the most.
Okay.
Because when it comes to your own usage, it's like when you've been in Facebook all day for clients, the last thing you want to do is go into Facebook.
Yeah.
So I think very much it's, going back a few years, it was like everyone was on Facebook and we didn't have that many using LinkedIn. So LinkedIn was a place. And then it kind of, I'm using the most, really is dependent on what clients are using the most, because it is throughout the entirety of the day. It's like when I want to use social media for me, I'm kind of going somewhere.
Yeah, different. Get me off that platform.
Yeah. Absolutely. On that note, another thing I saw, so one of the research pieces was that there's some research has come out that's all to do about the average time people spend on social media, like across the world.
Yeah.
So in the UK, this research suggests that we spend, in the UK, waking hours, we spend 11.2% of our waking hours on our phones.
Is that it?
Sorry, 11.2, sorry, it's something like 33% on your phone, but 11.2% on social media specifically.
Wow. What's everybody else doing on their phones then?
But
I
we are
suppose
doing
WhatsApp's
emails.
No, we're not checking emails. I mean, I'm not. Yeah, that seems quite. I mean, 33%. I don't believe that. Or maybe I'm just going based off my habits, because I am on my phone a lot.
Let me just double check my numbers. Yeah, 37.2% is average screen time, and that's awake hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, social media is 11.2%.
Oh wow! Last week I dropped 18%. Excuse me, I've got a dog in the way. But just some hairy beast. Dora, can we not? Thank you. Yeah, last week down 18%, and you might think, well, you must have not been on your phones at all. Daily average still 6 hours.
Yeah,
that's terrible. Oh, hang on, no, because I'm saying daily average is down. We're only on Thursday, so it hasn't actually calculated the week.
still got a couple of days to go to make it up.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah. Oh, did you see? So this is something from last week actually, because obviously we weren't here last Thursday.
Yeah.
So WhatsApp are bringing in some filters. So one of
Okay.
my biggest issues trying to stay on top of WhatsApp is obviously like your feed and your messages in WhatsApp. It's like whatever's had the most recent message, apart from the 2 or 3 things that I've got pinned. So then you're like scrolling through trying to find everything, like, you know, and it's like feels like you're going back forever.
Yeah.
So there's going to be filters now for unread messages,
Yeah.
group messages, and then you've got an all
Did you
tab
say
as
group
well.
or rude messages? Because your internet broke
Group.
up then. Group. Right,
Groups.
okay.
Yes. Yeah. So
Okay.
I just like, yeah, I mean, that's just going to be so handy for me.
Yeah. Because I'm really bad now, because I'm in so many WhatsApp groups. Like, I get to the point where I've got a few sort of, you know, blue things that I just mark them all as red, because I've got you
that's
on.
what mine's like. So since you've been on here, the last 18 minutes, I've got another 14 notifications.
Like, you're pinned, my client's pinned. Well, 2 of my clients are pinned. Everybody else are lucky if I read the message, basically, because they're my absolute need to knows. The rest are, I'll see if I've got time for you.
Yeah, I'll make time. I should have looked at that then, because I've just seen something now and I'm like, I need to listen to that voice note.
Is it the one? Yeah, stop it. I'm distracted now too. But yeah, so I just feel like, yeah, there's a lot. WhatsApp is the dreaded notification, you have been added to a group, and you just think, oh, not again. And it's the same people that you're in another group with, just with a different name.
And then people are posting the same thing into like 3 or 4 different groups, and you're just like, man. But like there's one of these groups in particular that it just drives me insane. And I thought this morning, right, I'll go through and I'll check and scan through, and there were 2 leads in there. I can't leave the group.
Yeah.
I can't leave the group, but it's too much.
See,
and half the messages at the end telling everyone else to stop spamming the group. I was like, if you stop spamming the group with reminders of how to use the group, it would literally halve what's going on. I'm like,
mine are all social groups. Mine are all like sort of personal groups and stuff like that. And I, depending on my mood on the day, I'll just cut and run. I won't even tell people that I'm going. It just says Kim's left. And then people go, are you all right? Yeah, it's just too much.
Yeah.
It's too much. It's like a constant, isn't it? All the time.
Absolutely. Did you hear about this new app, new social media app called AirChat?
Called what?
It's called AirChat.
Sorry? AirChat. No, I have not. Please tell me about said social platform.
I reckon it's a complete waste of time. So basically, the idea is that you you speak your updates,
Right.
and then the app turns what you've said into a written post, and then it's got a feed like Twitter, like X.
Okay. I'm opening up AirChat. Maybe next week we'll have a little play around with it. And when I say we, me.
I'm like, that's no difference to use, what's it called? You know, you're verbal, you speak into your phone and it just writes the message out. You know, your voice thing.
Yeah.
I'm not getting it.
So I've just gone to add a new chat, and it says AirChat must be running on the device you want to chat with. Copy link.
Oh yeah, it's like a walkie-talkie kind of thing. So if you imagine like voice notes or what, so this is what it crosses over so many things. So we're having a conversation through WhatsApp, voice notes.
Yeah.
But what happens is I voice note you and it writes the message.
So it's like a dictation.
Yeah.
What? Oh no, that's getting deleted immediately. I haven't got time for that.
I'm like, I just don't get it. So I think this might be one of those social media platforms that flops before it actually gets to be anything.
I mean, it's been deleted already. It's downloaded and deleted within a matter of seconds. I am that.
Which is, well, do you remember Twitter Vine?
Who? Vine?
Vine, V-I-N-E.
Oh, like the young kids used to use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Elon keeps like putting polls out there to see if we should bring Vine back.
Everybody loves a little reunion gig, don't they?
It's like, why bother at this point where we've already got so many other options?
Yeah. There is.
So I don't know. I guess. Well, there you go. Maybe what if old Elon bought TikTok?
Grok and Talk, we can call it.
Grok and Talk.
Don't know where these things come from. Right. We've got a question from the fans.
Yeah.
Here's a question. I'm in a WhatsApp group where we share LinkedIn posts with a view to use liking, sharing, comments on each other's posts. Is this a good thing to help LinkedIn presence, or will the algorithm spot this? Here's the thing, Paul. I'm going to answer this one because I know this is a bit of a bugbear of yours. That's absolutely great for increasing engagement, yada, yada, yada. But here's the thing. You're teaching the algorithm that all you want to see is the posts that you're commenting on and they're commenting. So you're all just going to see the same stuff. It's not going to push it out further afield. Leave the group, get rid of it, and just comment on our stuff. Because that's essentially, that's what you're doing. You're just training the algorithm that all the people in the group, show me their stuff, show me their stuff, show me their stuff.
Yeah. Well, so these groups, so Paul runs a networking business. So it's in Paul's context, it's a good way of the members of that group making sure that the people in that community are all seeing their posts, because it's not algorithm driven then. So they're seeing them in that group. But when it comes to interacting with those posts, I encourage Paul and the people in that group to only interact with the ones that they actually have a reason for interacting with, and don't just interact. So don't interact with Bob so that Bob interacts with me.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
It's I'm going to interact with Bob because genuinely that is interesting, or genuinely I do have an opinion on that. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sharing it to my audience because actually I do think it has value to my audience. Okay. So like in that context, Paul's just said it's not his group, it's another networking group, and that's cool. So what I'm saying is, in Paul, in your situation, if you had a group for BuzzCon, the business community, where members could all put their LinkedIn posts in there would be a lot of sense in that, because you're kind of bypassing the algorithm.
Yeah.
Like I say, just like those individual users, it shouldn't, like when these groups exist and it's like you must engage with everyone's post and everyone's going to engage in yours, that's where I think it's like, it's just actually, yeah, we're getting reach on this post now, but most of the people seeing it, it's irrelevant. It's not having any value. I'd rather get 3 likes than 300 likes in that scenario. The other part of that question, will the algorithm spot it? So LinkedIn have said that they are, like, the algorithm is looking for pull posts within an hour of him posting. The same 25 people have all liked the post, and that seems to happen again and again and again. LinkedIn, they said that they are looking for that. Have I heard of any stories where people are saying that they've found that their reach has been scuppered because they're using these sort of engagement apps? No, I haven't. So LinkedIn have said that the algorithm will spot it, but I'm not seeing evidence of the algorithm spotting it.
Yeah.
What I am seeing evidence of is people whose LinkedIn feeds are filled with posts, their feeds filled with everything that the other people in that WhatsApp group are doing, rather than being filled with content from people they actually want to do business with.
Yeah.
And content that's relevant to them. So that's the thing there.
Nice.
A LinkedIn note. So obviously we've got premium options for our personal profiles on LinkedIn. LinkedIn's now tested a premium option for company pages as well.
Oh, okay.
So to be honest, what's being reported at the minute in terms of the benefits, so the call to action button, you'll be able to customize that, which for me, I think that's a big win. But to be honest, that's only really going to be valuable to pages that have got sort of, tens of thousands of followers, 500,000 followers and above. Okay, we've got a couple of hundred, couple of thousand. It's probably not going to make that much difference because you're not getting enough traffic to the page anyway. You'll be able to see who's visited your page. I think that would be really useful because at the minute we can see who's followed it.
Yeah.
And you get a notification that you've had 10 page visits, but being able to see who those page visits are, that would be really valuable because you can follow up from there. And it gives us way more than just the demographics. So I think that'll be really powerful. They're going to do some stuff around testimonials on these premium pages as well. So you'll be able to essentially feature a testimonial that you've received on the page. So I think that would be really good. What I'm not clear on is whether you'll be able to upload a testimonial from elsewhere. Let's say you've had a Google review, taking that text and uploading it into your page, or whether it would have to be a LinkedIn testimonial. So I'm not sure on that one. You'll get more in terms of AI, the AI writing posts for you. People that engage with the page would automatically be invited to follow the page.
Nice.
That's nice. And a premium badge, so people know you've paid for your page. But it looks like that the investment for this is going to be very much in line with the kind of money people are paying on your premium options as well. So I've seen I've seen some things saying sort of like $70-$80. I've seen other stuff saying about sort of $99. So it's not going to be crazy money. No, it'll be monthly. Yeah, it's a subscription. So I think one of those things where you probably want to get to maybe like 5,000 followers, and then it would be worth turning on.
Yeah, because otherwise that's a lot of money, isn't it? For essentially, if you've only got a couple of hundred, you're not going to get that money back quickly, are you?
Well, and it depends how strong your LinkedIn game is as well.
Yeah,
because
of course. Yeah.
If you think about lead generation, okay, how much it, like, say, every business should know how much it costs to generate a lead.
Yeah.
Yeah, every lead costs me X amount. So, like, if you're looking at, I spoke at an event a couple of weeks ago for a group of mortgage advisors, and I know people in the mortgage world, there's sort of different things they can subscribe to, and they have X amount per lead. I know there's one of these sites where it's like 200, I think it's like £250, £300 for the lead, but it's a really good source of leads.
Yeah.
Well, if I was a mortgage broker and on my company page I was paying £99 a month, and just being able to see who's visiting my page brought me one lead a quarter. It's the same as I'm paying anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'd be like, well, I just need 4 leads a year, and actually I'm paying the same as I am. But if I get, if I got 8 leads a year, just halved my lead cost. So it's an interesting one. Like I said, I think like if you're just starting up on LinkedIn, it's probably not. You'd go organic on your profile, so you'd have company page, but you'd be really pushing your organic presence on your personal profile. Get that right, then you would upgrade to a premium profile for yourself and still be working that company page. Then when you get your company page to, like I say, that level, and I'm thinking probably about 5,000 followers based on what I'm seeing right now, then you turn on the premium option on your company page as well. I can kind of sort of see it as like that being the journey, if you like.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was interested in that one. I used to have loads of really cool features on LinkedIn on company pages when I go back like 10 years. You've got different a separate page for your services. You could collect recommendations for the page as well, and that works really nicely. The events on there, and like all of this stuff, it's kind of been reworked, and it's not as front and center as it used to be. So it'd be interesting to see. So they're testing it at the minute. It'd be interesting what else they do with it as they roll it out. But I'd be up for that. I'd do it. I think I'd be more inclined to do it for the company than I am. Like when you've got your page working at a certain level, like absolutely, I'd turn it on, 100%.
Let's do it.
Like for recruiters as well, that would be huge in terms of trying to find like business development and passive candidates. It'd be brilliant. Anyway, that's everything I've got news-wise for this week. You got anything else?
What was the other one that I said to you about? Bear with me, I'm too busy looking at air chat, whatever that thing was. So X continues to display ads alongside harmful content. So it says today, which was actually a few days ago, Hyundai announced that it was going to pause its ad spend on X after it found its promotions were being displayed alongside pro-Nazi content. So, yeah, so they're going to pull their ad spend. But apparently they've said that they're going to monitor this stuff, but it keeps happening more and more. So
it's really tricky. The whole sort of online advertising piece is so difficult. I saw something. So this isn't social advertising now. This is like Google Display.
Yeah.
And basically, it was an article in a newspaper talking about a gambling related story, and it was basically a child falling foul of gambling addiction and telling that story. And in the middle of it, there was an advert for like, I don't know, Bet365 or whatever it's called. And it's so for any paid advertising you're doing, you have the option to click the buttons to say, like, I don't want my ad to run against this type of content.
Yeah.
But it's nothing's foolproof. Nothing is foolproof.
No, well, this article quite rightly says, obviously, X, Twitter, whatever he wants to call it today, 80% reduction in total staff. So it's moderating it. It's just they don't have the manpower to do it. So
yeah.
Crazy. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, let's wrap it up there for this week. Only because I know I've got meetings to get to. I'm going off to I'm going to jump on a call and put together a social media strategy for one of our recruitment friends.
Ooh.
So looking forward to that. And then I'm catching up with one of the recruitment networks later this afternoon as well. So I need to go and get all organised for that. And
Nice.
I know you've got some client stuff to jump on as well, haven't you?
Lots of client stuff to jump on. I need to schedule a load of stuff for tomorrow because I'm away in the morning. And yeah, just try and get as much scheduled as possible to give me a bit of breathing space.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Cool. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. And Paul, I've just seen your comment there. Paul, bless him, he pulled over so he could tune in, but he's got to get back on now. So thanks for that.
Totally read. Never mind. Just wrap this up, please. I'll tell you afterwards.
I mean, that's probably you froze for a second for me then. That's probably a few days. But yes, thanks for tuning in to the Green Umbrella Live Lunch. We will be back next Thursday, 12 noon. Social media news, updates, and a little bit of gossip along the way. And yeah, we'll see you then. Bye for now.
Bye.